The sound of champagne glasses clinking together made my stomach turn. Through the doorway of our family's pristine dining room, I watched my sister Athena bask in the attention, one hand resting on her barely visible baby bump, while the other clutched a glass of sparkling apple cider. I'm Penelope, the invisible daughter, the one currently hiding in the kitchen, pretending to arrange a cheese platter while my family celebrates the miracle of my younger sister's pregnancy. To my beautiful daughter and her precious gift to our family. My father's voice boomed from the dining room. More clinking, more cooing. I stabbed a cheese cube with more force than necessary. Penelope, my mother's sharp voice cut through the celebration. Where are those appetizers? Your sister needs to keep her strength up. I forced a smile and carried the platter into the dining room. Coming, Mom. Athena sat at the head of the table, my usual spot, looking radiant in her designer maternity dress. Our parents hovered around her like satellites, while I set down the platter and took my place in the corner. Actually, we have something important to discuss, my father announced, straightening his tie. Given Athena's condition, she'll need full-time support during this delicate period. My mother nodded enthusiastically. Which is why we think it's best if you take a break from that little museum job of yours, Penelope. Just temporarily, of course. The cheese cube I'd been holding fell from my fingers. Excuse me. It's just that... Athena's voice was soft, practiced. The doctor said I need to avoid stress, and having someone familiar around would be so helpful. That little museum job is my career, I said, my voice trembling. I'm up for junior curator next month. My father waved his hand dismissively. Family comes first, Penelope. You can always go back to arranging paintings later. Besides, my mother added, it's not like you're doing anything particularly important there. Athena's baby is our future. I felt my phone buzz in my pocket. Probably Scarlett, my best friend, checking in. She'd warned me about coming to this dinner. I've spent 3 years building my reputation at the museum, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. You can't seriously expect me to... Oh, don't be selfish, my mother interrupted. Your sister needs you. Remember how she supported you during college? I almost laughed. Athena had supported me by taking my car every weekend, claiming she needed it more for her social life while I worked double shifts at the campus coffee shop. When do you expect me to start? I asked, already knowing the answer. Tomorrow would be ideal, my father replied, not even looking at me as he refilled Athena's glass. We've already called the museum to explain the situation. The room started spinning. You what? They were very understanding. My mother beamed. Said they'd hold your position for 6 months. Athena reached for my hand across the table. You're the best big sister ever, Penny. I just don't know what I'd do without you. I pulled my hand away and stood up, my chair scraping against the hardwood floor. I need some air. Don't be dramatic, my mother scolded. Sit down and help your sister plan her nursery color scheme. Instead, I walked out onto our wraparound porch, pulling my phone from my pocket. 3 messages from Scarlett. How's the dinner from hell? Do you need an escape plan? Call me if you need backup. My fingers shook as I typed. They want me to quit my job to become Athena's personal assistant, already called the museum. The response was immediate. Get out of there. Come over. I have wine and a spare bedroom. I looked through the window at my family, still celebrating, not even noticing my absence. 3 years of working my way up from gift shop clerk to assistant curator, all thrown away because the golden child needed a servant. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Javier, my mentor at the museum. Just got a strange call from your parents. Come see me first thing tomorrow. We need to talk. I took a deep breath of the cool evening air and made my decision. I wouldn't let them steamroll me this time. There had to be another way. Walking back inside, I plastered on a smile. Sorry about that. Just needed a moment. Perfect timing. Athena clapped her hands. We're discussing the baby shower theme. I'm thinking enchanted garden. As my mother launched into a detailed vision board description, I nodded along, already forming a plan. They wanted me to sacrifice everything for Athena. Fine, but this time, I'd do it my way, and they wouldn't see it coming. You're doing what? Scarlett nearly spat out her coffee across the tiny cafe table. Shh. I glanced around nervously. Keep your voice down. Someone might hear. It had been 2 weeks since I'd started my new role as Athena's personal assistant, and I was finally sharing my secret plan with my best friend during our weekly coffee meetup. Night school? While playing nursemaid to your princess sister? Scarlett shook her head. Are you trying to kill yourself? I pulled out the course catalogue I'd been hiding in my bag. Look, the business administration program is perfect. 4 nights a week, starting at 7 p.m. Athena's usually asleep by then anyway. And your parents? They never check on me after dinner. They're too busy fawning over Athena's latest pregnancy craving or nursery paint sample. Scarlett leaned back, studying me with concern. What about your job at the museum? Javier's been amazing, I said, smiling for the first time that day. He's keeping me on part-time, weekends only. Says I'm too valuable to lose completely. At least someone appreciates you, Scarlett muttered. My phone buzzed. Another text from Athena. Where are you? Need green juice now, the organic kind. Speaking of appreciation, I showed Scarlett the message. Tell her to get it herself. Can't. Mom would have a meltdown. Apparently, walking 2 blocks to the juice bar might harm the precious cargo. Scarlett grabbed my phone and typed a response. On my way, had to wait in line. Thanks, I said, gathering my things. I should go. Wait. Scarlett caught my arm. Are you sure about this? The degree, the sneaking around. It seems risky. Riskier than letting them control my entire life. I stood up, straightening my shoulders. I'm done being the family doormat. Later that evening, I sat in my first business class, heart pounding as the professor discussed financial management. The material was challenging, but it felt incredible to use my brain for something other than memorizing Athena's supplement schedule. My phone vibrated silently. Where did you put my pregnancy pillow? I ignored it. After class, I found 3 missed calls from my mother and another text from Athena. Never mind. Found it under the mountain of baby clothes you were supposed to organize. Everything okay? A deep voice startled me. I looked up to see James, one of my classmates, packing up his laptop. Oh yeah, just family stuff. You seemed really into the lecture, he said. Business background? I laughed. Art history, actually. But I'm ready for a change. Brave move, he nodded approvingly. Most people just stick with what they know. Sometimes you need to blow up your whole life to build something better, I said, surprising myself with the honesty. Walking to my car, I got another call from my mother. This time I answered. Where have you been? She demanded. Athena's been trying to reach you. Sorry, Mum. My phone died. The lie came easily now. I'm on my way. Hurry up, she needs help sorting through the baby name books I bought. I found Athena sprawled on her bed, surrounded by books and snack wrappers. Finally, she exclaimed, I've narrowed it down to 15 names for a girl and 12 for a boy. I need you to research the meanings of each one. Now, I glanced at my watch. It was almost midnight. Well, I can't sleep until this is settled, she pouted. The baby needs a perfect name. I sat down and picked up a book, thinking about the financial analysis homework due tomorrow. How about we start with your top 3? You don't seem very excited, Athena frowned. This is your future niece or nephew we're talking about. I'm just tired, I said, forcing enthusiasm into my voice. Tell me your favorites. As Athena launched into a detailed explanation of why destiny would be perfect for a girl, I felt my phone buzz with a message from Scarlett. Survived your first class? Still sane? I typed back quickly. Barely, but it's worth it. Every minute in that classroom is one step closer to freedom. That's it, Athena suddenly squealed. I felt the baby kick. Quick, get Mom and Dad. As I hurried to wake our parents for yet another middle-of-the-night baby celebration, I touched the course catalogue hidden in my back pocket. 3 more years of this double life, and then everything would change. They just didn't know it yet. The doctor says I need complete bed rest, Athena wailed from her bedroom. Complete bed rest. How am I supposed to do my Instagram pregnancy updates from bed? I stood in her doorway, watching her dramatic performance for our parents. 4 months into her pregnancy, and every minor discomfort had become a family crisis. "Sweetheart, don't worry," our mother cooed. "Penelope will handle everything, won't you, dear?" Before I could respond, my father cleared his throat. "About that, we need to discuss finances." My heart stopped. Had they discovered my night classes? "The medical bills are adding up," he continued, pulling out a stack of papers. "And with Athena unable to work—" "I never really worked anyway," Athena sniffled. "My lifestyle blog was more of a passion project." Our father nodded sympathetically. "Penelope, we'll need you to increase your contribution to the household expenses." "My contribution?" I asked, genuinely confused. "I'm not even working full-time anymore because you made me quit. But you still have your weekend job at the museum," my mother pointed out. "And it's not like you have any expenses. You live here rent-free." I bit back a laugh. "Rent-free? I buy all the groceries, pay the utilities, and cover Athena's organic food delivery service." "Don't be selfish," my mother snapped. "Your sister is in a delicate condition." My phone buzzed. A message from Javier. "Major opportunity. Call me ASAP." "I need some air," I muttered, stepping out of the room. In the hallway, I called Javier immediately. "Penelope," he said warmly. "How's the secret student life treating you?" "Exhausting. What's the opportunity?" "Remember that executive position I mentioned, the one that seemed like a long shot? They're interested in interviewing you after graduation." I slid down the wall to sit on the floor. "But that's a year away." "They're willing to wait. Your portfolio is impressive, and your business degree will make you perfect for the role. Starting salary is $150,000. The number made me dizzy, more than enough to escape the situation. "Send me the details," I whispered. "I'll make it work." Back in Athena's room, I found her scrolling through her phone, while our parents discussed her medical bills. "The specialist alone is $5,000, my father was saying, "and the birthing suite she wants—" "It's the only one with a proper lighting setup for birth photos," Athena interrupted. "My followers expect quality content." I cleared my throat. "How much is the total?" My father looked uncomfortable. "Around $30,000, with everything included." "And where exactly is this money coming from?" I asked, already knowing the answer. "Well," he adjusted his tie nervously. "We thought, since you're saving so much living at home, you want me to pay for Athena's luxury birth experience with money I don't have, from a job you made me quit." "Don't be dramatic," my mother said. "Family helps family." Suddenly, Athena gasped, clutching her stomach. Everyone froze. "The baby," she whimpered. "Something feels wrong." The next few hours were a blur of emergency room visits and tests. I sat in the waiting room, using the time to work on my business school assignments while our parents hovered around Athena. Finally, the doctor emerged. "Just normal pregnancy discomfort," she assured us. "But given her anxiety levels, I recommend having someone with her constantly." "Penelope can sleep in her room," my mother declared immediately. "Actually," the doctor continued, "I'm more concerned about financial stress. Has the family considered counseling to discuss support systems?" I looked up from my laptop, interested. "We're handling everything," my father said quickly. "Money is no object when it comes to our daughter's health." "Our daughter," I repeated softly. "Interesting choice of words, Dad." Later that night, as I set up the air mattress in Athena's room, she spoke quietly. "I'm scared, Penny." For a moment, I saw my little sister instead of the entitled princess she'd become. "Of what?" "Everything. Being a mom. Being alone." "What if I'm terrible at it?" "You won't be alone," I said automatically, then caught myself. Was I really going to let guilt trap me again? "Promise." She reached for my hand. "I don't know what I'd do without you." I squeezed her hand but didn't answer. My phone lit up with another message from Javier. "Interview panel wants to meet you next week. Secret's going to come out eventually. Ready?" Looking at Athena's worried face, I realized the time for hiding was almost over. The question was, would my family survive the truth? Your GPA is impressive, the woman across the mahogany desk said, studying my transcript. Especially considering you're taking a full course load while working. I sat straighter in my chair, grateful I'd borrowed Scarlett's designer suit for this interview. The top floor of the corporate building felt worlds away from Athena's messy bedroom. Thank you, Ms. Reynolds, I replied. Time management is one of my strengths. She smiled. Clearly, Javier speaks very highly of your ability to handle complex situations. If she only knew. I'd snuck out during Athena's prenatal yoga class for this meeting, leaving a note claiming I was running errands. The position won't be available for another year, Ms. Reynolds continued, but we're willing to hold it. The salary package we discussed includes full benefits, stock options, and relocation assistance if needed. My heart skipped. Relocation, freedom. When would you need my decision? Take a week, but Penelope. She leaned forward. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Talents like yours are rare. Back home, I found my father in Athena's room, holding up paint swatches. Where were you? He demanded. Athena wanted to finalize the nursery colors. Grocery shopping, I lied, clutching my bag containing the hidden interview materials. Well, you missed the excitement, Athena said from her bed. Dad's giving me his credit card for the baby shopping. Our father beamed. Nothing but the best for my grandchild. That's generous, I said carefully, especially with all the medical bills. Money works itself out, he waved dismissively. Family comes first. Later, while organizing Athena's closet as commanded, I found a stack of unopened bills hidden under her designer handbags. Curiosity got the better of me. I peeked. Holy shit, I whispered, adding up the numbers. Credit card debt, personal loans, unpaid medical bills. Athena was drowning in red. What are you doing? I spun around to find Athena watching me from the doorway. These bills are none of your business, she snapped, snatching them away. I'm handling it. With Dad's credit card. Her face crumpled. You don't understand. The medical insurance won't cover everything, and my blog isn't generating enough income, and... Does Dad know how much you owe? Please don't tell him, she begged. He thinks everything's under control. Mom, too. They're so proud of me finally settling down, starting a family. I thought about my secret bank account, growing steadily with my weekend museum work. The money I'd been saving for my escape. My phone buzzed. Javier. How'd the interview go? Ready to join the executive world? Before I could respond, I heard our father's voice from downstairs. Penelope, come down here. In his home office, he stood holding a frame. My stomach dropped. I recognized it immediately. Found this while looking for old baby photos, he said, turning it around. My secret graduation photo from last semester's business school ceremony. I'd hidden it in the attic. Care to explain? Have you been wasting time on classes instead of helping your sister? His voice rose. Is that where you keep disappearing to? It's not a waste, I said, finding my courage. I'm building a future. Your future is here, supporting this family. Do you know what your sister's going through? Do you? I shot back. Have you seen her bills? The debt she's hiding? He faltered. What debt? Ask her yourself. I'm done being the family secret keeper. How dare you? No, how dare you? I surprised myself with my volume. You forced me to quit my career, drain my savings, and put my life on hold. Meanwhile, Athena burns through money she doesn't have, and you just keep enabling her. Keep your voice down, he hissed. Your mother can't handle any more stress. Of course not, I laughed bitterly. We wouldn't want anyone to face reality. We'll discuss this later, he said, putting the frame in his desk drawer. For now, not a word to your mother or sister. As I turned to leave, my phone lit up with another message, Ms. Reynolds this time. Position is yours if you want it. Let me know by Friday. I looked at my father, already focused on his computer, dismissing me as usual. The weight of secrets, mine and Athena's, pressed down on me. Friday. 3 days to decide between family obligation and freedom. But watching my father deliberately ignore the truth in front of him, I realized I'd already made my choice. The only question was how to break the news. "The baby's coming," Athena's scream pierced through the house at 3 a.m., exactly 1 month before her due date. I bolted upright on my air mattress, nearly colliding with my mother as she rushed into the room. "It's too early," Athena sobbed, clutching her stomach. "Something's wrong." The next hour was chaos. Dad racing around looking for the hospital bag I'd packed weeks ago, Mom alternatively praying and panicking, and me trying to keep everyone focused while calling the doctor. In the hospital waiting room, I finally had a moment to check my phone. 3 missed calls from Ms. Reynolds. Tomorrow was my deadline to accept the executive position. "Family of Athena?" A nurse appeared. "She's asking for Penelope." I found my sister in the labor room, looking smaller and younger than I'd seen her in years. Her makeup-free face was streaked with tears. "They're giving me medication to stop the contractions," she whispered. "But the doctor said I'll need complete bed rest until delivery. No exceptions." "Okay," I said, already calculating how to manage this with my final exams coming up. "We'll figure it out." "I'm sorry," she said suddenly. "For what?" "For everything. For being such a burden. I saw the bills you've been paying. The groceries, utilities, my prenatal vitamins." She wiped her eyes. "I'm not blind, Penny. I know you've been carrying this family." I sat down hard in the chair beside her bed. "You know? Mum and Dad might be in denial, but I'm not stupid, and—" She hesitated. "I found your business school acceptance letter in the laundry room last week." My heart stopped. "Did you tell them?" "No. I realized how selfish I've been, making you put your life on hold while I play princess." She grabbed my hand. "You should have told me about your dreams." "Would it have made a difference?" "Yes," she said firmly. "I would have supported you, like you've supported me. Instead, I let them turn you into my personal assistant." A contraction hit her then, and she squeezed my hand until it hurt. "I'm scared," she admitted when it passed. "Not just about the baby, about everything. I'm drowning in debt, I have no real job skills, and now I can't even get out of bed." "Athena, no, let me finish. I found the job offer, too. It fell out of your bag yesterday. Executive position?" "That's amazing, Penny. You have to take it." "But what about me, the baby? Mom and Dad's expectations?" She shook her head. "We'll survive. We've been taking advantage of you for too long." The door opened and our parents rushed in, followed by a doctor. "Good news," the doctor announced. "The contractions have stopped. But, Athena, you'll need round-the-clock care for the next month." "Penelope can handle it," our mother said automatically. "Actually," Athena spoke up, her voice stronger than I'd ever heard it. "We need to talk about that." "Not now, sweetie." Mom patted her hand. "You need rest." "No, Mom, now." Athena sat up straighter. "Did you know Penelope's been offered an executive position? A real career opportunity?" The room went silent. Dad's face darkened. "Athena, you don't understand." "I understand perfectly. We've been treating Penelope like a servant while she secretly put herself through business school. And instead of being proud, you're trying to hold her back." "That's not," Mom started, but Athena cut her off. "Did you know I'm over $50,000 in debt? That Penelope's been paying our bills while I waste money on designer maternity clothes? That she's been working weekends and studying at night while taking care of me?" Our parents looked stunned. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Penny," Athena turned to me, "take the job. I mean it. I'll figure something out. Maybe move in with Mom and Dad until the baby comes." "But your Instagram followers," Mom protested weakly. "Will survive without daily pregnancy updates," Athena finished. "It's time we all grew up." Another contraction hit her, and the doctor shooed us out. In the hallway, our parents stood in shocked silence while I checked my phone again. Ms. Reynolds had texted, Final answer needed by 5 p.m. tomorrow. Hope to welcome you aboard. I looked at my parents, seeing them clearly for the first time in months. Dad's shoulders were slumped, Mum's hands trembling as she realized their carefully constructed world was crumbling. I'm taking the job, I said quietly, and it's not up for discussion. Behind us, through the door, we could hear Athena breathing through another contraction, fighting her own battle. Maybe it was time we all did. We need to discuss your sister's baby shower, my mother announced over breakfast, exactly 1 week after Athena's hospital scare. I'm thinking we should host it at the country club. I looked up from my laptop, where I'd been reviewing contracts for my new position. The country club? Can we afford that? Don't be crude, Penelope, she sniffed. Money isn't everything. It is when you're in debt, I muttered. What was that? Nothing. I closed my laptop. But since you brought it up, we need to talk about finances. Later, dear. Right now, we need to focus on the guest list. I'm thinking 200 people. 200? I choked on my coffee. Mum, Athena's on bed rest. She can't handle a party that size. Which is why you'll handle everything, she said brightly. The catering, decorations, entertainment. No. My mother blinked. Excuse me? I said no. I stood up, gathering my things. I'm not planning an extravagant party we can't afford. I'm not your event coordinator, and I'm definitely not your ATM. How dare you, after everything we've done for you? Done for me? I laughed. You mean like forcing me to quit my job, or hiding my graduation photo like it's something shameful? Your father told me about that, she said coldly, sneaking around, taking classes instead of focusing on family obligations. My only obligation is to myself, I said, pulling out my phone. And since you won't listen to reason, maybe this will help. I pulled up Athena's credit card statements and placed them on the table. Take a look, really look. My mother's hands shook as she read the numbers. This can't be right. It is, and there's more. I laid out the medical bills, the personal loans, the mounting interest charges. We're drowning, Mum, all of us. But your father said everything was under control. Dad's been lying to himself. And you've been letting him. She sank into a chair, the papers scattered around her like fallen leaves. What are we going to do? First, we're going to have a reasonable baby shower. Small, intimate, within budget. I took a deep breath. And then I'm moving out. Moving out? But Athena needs to stand on her own feet, I interrupted, and so do I. My phone buzzed. A text from Scarlett. Lunch today. Need to hear about the new job. I have to go, I told my mother. But think about what I said. Really think. At the cafe with Scarlett later, I finally felt like I could breathe. So you actually did it? She asked, grinning. Told them about the job? Athena did it for me, actually. I recounted the hospital scene. Holy plot twist, Scarlett whistled. Little sister grew a backbone. Speaking of, I checked my phone. 3 missed calls from my father. They're not taking it well. Of course not. You're destroying their perfectly crafted denial bubble. She leaned forward. So what's your plan? I found an apartment near the new office, moving in next month. And the baby shower drama? I smiled. Actually, I have an idea about that. Something that might help everyone save face. That evening, I walked into Athena's room with a proposal. A virtual baby shower? She asked, looking at the iPad I'd handed her. Think about it, you can rest in bed, everyone can attend from home, and we'll save thousands on venue costs. But Mum's heart is set on the country club. Mum's heart is set on appearances, I corrected. This way, you can reach even more of your followers. We'll set up professional lighting, make it an exclusive online event. Athena's eyes lit up. My first mommy influencer livestream. Exactly. And the money we save can go toward the medical bills. She grabbed my hand. You're still the smartest one in the family, you know that? I know, I smiled. Now help me convince Mom and Dad. My phone buzzed again. Another text from my father. We need to talk about your future. I typed back, yes, we do. but this time I'm doing the talking. Looking at Athena, already brainstorming hashtags for her virtual shower, I realized something had shifted. The walls of obligation and guilt were cracking, letting in light. Maybe we could all grow up after all. I sent one more text, this time to Ms. Reynolds. "When can I start?" The response came immediately. "Welcome aboard. Let's change the world." Or at least, I thought, let's change our small corner of it. "Is everything set up properly?" Athena asked, adjusting her designer maternity dress as I positioned the ring light. The virtual baby shower was about to begin, but I had other plans for this live stream. "Perfect," I said, checking the guest list on my tablet. Over 300 people had logged in, including my parents' entire social circle, Athena's followers, and, though my family didn't know it yet, my new colleagues from the executive team. "Mum's still sulking about the country club," Athena whispered. "She'll get over it." I adjusted the camera angle. Especially after today, our parents sat stiffly on Athena's other side, dressed for a country club event despite being in their own home. Dad kept checking his watch while Mum fussed with Athena's hair. "Going live in 3, 2, 1. The screen lit up with faces in their little squares, chat messages already flooding in with congratulations. "Welcome, everyone," Athena beamed at the camera. "We're so excited to share this special day with you all." I let her handle the introductions, while I monitored the participant list. Ms. Reynolds had joined, along with the entire board of directors, right on schedule. "And of course," Athena continued, "I have to thank my amazing sister Penelope, who made all this possible." Yes, our mother interrupted. "Now, shall we begin opening presents?" "Actually," I said, moving into frame, "I'd like to make an announcement first." Dad's head snapped up. "Penelope, this is your sister's day." "It's okay," Athena said quickly. "Let her speak." I faced the camera, heart pounding. Many of you know me as Athena's supportive sister. What you don't know is that while caring for my family, I've also been pursuing my own dreams. The chat exploded with questions. I continued. "I'm proud to announce that next month I'll be joining Reynolds International as their youngest ever executive director of operations." Dead silence in the room. Online, the chat went wild. "I'd like to introduce my new colleague, Ms. Reynolds," I said, spotlighting her video square. "Delighted to be here," Ms. Reynolds smiled. Penelope's unique combination of business acumen and family dedication made her our top choice. My mother's face had gone pale. Dad's jaw clenched. "But that's not all," I continued. "Part of my role will be overseeing the company's new family support initiative, providing resources for working parents like my sister." Athena grabbed my hand, squeezing hard. "In fact," I turned to her, "we'd like to offer you a position as our social media consultant, specializing in parenting and work-life balance content. Full benefits, flexible hours, and childcare included." "What?" she whispered, tears forming. "The contract's already drawn up," Ms. Reynolds added. "Your sister spoke highly of your influence in the parenting community." Our mother found her voice. But what about the family business? The business that's drowning in debt?" I asked quietly. "The one where we're all pretending everything's fine?" Dad stood up abruptly. "This is inappropriate." "No, Dad. What's inappropriate is hiding bills and forcing your children into roles that crush their spirits." I turned back to the camera. "Success isn't about maintaining appearances. It's about building something real." The chat was exploding with support messages. Several of my parents' friends were commenting about their own family struggles. "I've accepted the position," I announced, "and I'm moving out next month. But," I looked at my family, "I'm not abandoning anyone. I'm just choosing to help in a way that doesn't require sacrificing myself." "Penny," Athena said, wiping her eyes, "thank you for everything." Our mother was crying now too, but Dad still stood rigid. "Stanley," Ms. Reynolds addressed him directly, "you should be proud. Your daughter has shown exceptional leadership qualities. In fact, we'd love to have you consult on some of our family business transition projects." His posture softened slightly. Consult. Your experience could be valuable, she said diplomatically. Shall we discuss it over lunch next week? I watched my father's pride battle with his anger. Finally, he sat down. Perhaps. That would be appropriate. The rest of the shower passed in a blur of virtual gifts and congratulations. But now the messages celebrated both Athena's baby and my career news. Our mother even managed a genuine smile when Ms. Reynolds praised her for raising such accomplished daughters. As we wrapped up the live stream, Athena pulled me close. You planned this whole thing, didn't you? The virtual shower, the job offer, everything? I learned from the best. I smiled. You're not the only one who knows how to work an audience. She laughed, then grew serious. Will you still be around? For the baby? Of course, I said, but on my terms this time. Looking at our shell-shocked parents, I added, sometimes the best way to help family is to help yourself first. Ms. Executive Director, Athena grinned. Ms. Social Media Consultant, I replied. For the first time in years, we were both exactly where we needed to be. The moving boxes were almost packed when I heard the doorbell ring. Opening the door, I found my father standing there, looking uncomfortable in his casual weekend clothes. Need help? He asked, gesturing to the boxes visible behind me. Sure, I said, stepping aside to let him in. Most of it's ready, just a few things left in my room. We worked in silence for a while, wrapping picture frames and stacking books. Finally, he picked up my business school diploma, now proudly framed. I owe you an apology, he said quietly. Several, actually. Dad, no, let me finish. He set down the diploma carefully. I was wrong, about everything. I got so caught up in protecting Athena, in maintaining appearances, that I forgot to protect you too. I didn't need protection, I said. I needed support. And I failed at that spectacularly. He smiled sadly. Your mother and I. We had our first therapy session yesterday. I nearly dropped the book I was holding. Seriously, Ms. Reynolds recommended someone, said it helped her family's business transition. He shrugged. Figured it couldn't hurt. The doorbell rang again. This time it was Athena, waddling in with a gift bag. Housewarming present, she announced, handing it over. Well, office warming technically, for your new executive suite. Inside was a framed photo of us as kids, playing dress-up. Me in a business suit from Mum's closet, Athena in a princess dress. Look how long it took us to figure out we could both be who we wanted to be, she said softly. My phone buzzed, Mom asking if we needed lunch brought over. The same mother who'd called my career choices selfish just weeks ago was now organizing my moving day schedule. Speaking of being who we want to be, Athena said, lowering herself carefully onto a box. I signed the contract with Reynolds International this morning. That's fantastic, I hugged her. And, she continued, I've enrolled in some online business courses. Figure if I'm going to run a proper social media consultancy, I should understand the business side too. Dad cleared his throat. I might have some insights to share, if you're interested. Family business mentoring, I teased. What happened to women should focus on family, not finance? I'm learning, he said simply. Sometimes the old ways aren't the best ways. Another buzz. Scarlett this time. Moving trucks booked for 2 p.m. Need anything else? Looking around my childhood room, now mostly packed up, I felt a strange mix of emotions. Not sadness exactly, but something softer. You know, Athena said, following my gaze, Mom's turned your room into a satellite nursery, for when you babysit. Bold of her to assume I'm available for babysitting, I laughed. Please, Athena rolled her eyes. Like you won't spoil this kid rotten. Just on your own terms this time. Dad picked up another box, then paused. Penelope, that consulting offer Ms. Reynolds made. I've been thinking about it. And maybe it's time I learned some new perspectives too. If the offer's still open. It is, I smiled. The meeting's still on for Tuesday. The doorbell rang a third time. Mum with sandwiches, Scarlett with packing tape, and Ms. Reynolds with a surprise visit to drop off my new office keys. Watching them all interact, Mom showing Ms. Reynolds baby shower photos, Scarlett helping Athena with her social media strategy, Dad actually taking notes, I realized something profound had shifted. "Hey," Athena nudged me. "Remember when you said the best way to help family is to help yourself first?" I nodded. "You were right, but maybe the best way to build a future is to bring everyone along for the ride." "Even if they kick and scream at first?" I asked, watching Dad awkwardly discuss business trends with Ms. Reynolds. "Especially then," Athena laughed. "We're still family, just upgraded." My phone buzzed one last time, a message from Javier. "Proud of you, kid. You didn't just break free, you built bridges." Looking around at my packed-up room, at my family finding new ways to connect, at the future unfolding in unexpected ways, I replied, "No bridges broken, just reinforced. Turns out revenge isn't about destroying the old story. It's about writing a better one," Athena finished, reading over my shoulder. "Together." Dad called out, "Ready to load the truck?" "Ready," I answered, picking up a box. Ready for everything, actually. The new job, the evolving family dynamics, the chance to be both successful and supportive, all on my own terms. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's growth, and bringing everyone along for the journey.